This is Countdown to Economic Collapse, April 1st, 2012. I'm David John Sponheim for America's Third Party, running for president. I'm now going to talk to you about preparing for the future. But before I do that, I want to discuss our economy. I want to talk about why our economy is in the sad shape it's in. Despite what the mass media tells you, the economy is not doing well. We are unfortunately experiencing tremendous debt in the mortgage industry, which was not resolved by the $25 billion solution that was recently come to by the Justice Department. I'm going to ask you a very simple question. Are you prepared for your own foreclosure on your house? Are you prepared for the inevitability you may have to live in your car? I mean, these are really weird questions to ask, but if you don't answer those questions in a way that's going to help you survive, you may not survive. So what I'm recommending the American people realize is our nation has a core economy which ultimately will survive. It's very robust. We've got a very strong service sector. We've got a good retail economy, but it needs a lot of help. We need more exports. We need more production. We need a lot of new entrepreneurship to come out of our new emerging economy, but we haven't seen it under Barack Obama. Let me give you an example of what the economy was like in 2008. This circle represents the economy at large. This section represents how much the government requires of the economy, the GDP, to run, roughly 12%. So if the government is getting 12% of the GDP, it can run efficiently. Unfortunately, Barack Obama has doubled that amount, and we've been trying to spend $3.6 trillion versus $1.3 to $1.5 trillion on the budget, and Obama has outspent and overspent to the point where we are now running deep into this larger circle. So that larger circle of green is actually the economy itself that's being eaten away. And this is a zero-sum game because the government doesn't have that multiplier effect that the free market has. The government, unfortunately, is a sucking machine that just sucks money out of the economy. It doesn't create money through the economy, unless, of course, we bring our military home. Then our military budget would be spent here in the United States. Something like that would bring more money home. So what America's Third Party is suggesting in our new book, Hybrid Capitalism, is that the government get more money back in return, looping the money in our economy so that we can eventually not charge taxes at all to the American citizens. This is an incredible concept which over time can evolve as a sustainable economy for our nation and a good solid government which will maintain our basic support system, if you will. Now, we believe that model of government will shrink the operating expenses of the budget down to this triangle here. That's how much the kernel of government will require to operate. Basic defenses, border control, as well as a social welfare system that provides a pretty basic support, both comprehensive health care and food stamps and, of course, welfare for people in need. The Social Security Trust Fund will continue to remain a major problem in the future. I'm not going to say it isn't, because it is. But that's partly due to the fact that illegal aliens are invading this big circle. They're taking it over. They're using the money necessary to run the economy for medical education purposes. Illegal non-US citizens will ultimately be deported from our country. But we have a fast-track naturalization program, which is a way in which they can gain citizenship if they qualify. Now, the Federal Reserve, I believe, is an obstacle. We need to end the Fed. It's super important that we end an organization that has led to the ultimate takedown of our economy. They have sucked $24 trillion out of our economy. Now, the money given to the banks through the Federal Reserve, that large amount of money from the circle you're seeing is a major portion, $1.5 trillion to the banks. And that money hasn't all come back yet. So when you think about it, we are spending money we don't have. And it's true, the Federal Reserve has offered out loans of up to $16 trillion over the past 3 years, which further weakens this GDP and our ultimate ability to survive. Now, I'm not even showing you the area outside of the circle. You don't want to see that. That's the derivatives market. That's all the money owed, mortgage-backed securities. That's a huge debt load, which is very fragile. The big banks are not the people to build enterprise, but rather American government can build enterprise solely with an infrastructure bank, allowing loans as low as 2% to businesses that show promise. And this is a concept that bypasses the existing system where banks are sitting there holding tons of money and making lots of money in the stock market. Those banks got that $1.5 trillion, and they are using it to profit. They aren't investing in jobs. The government can instead invest directly into the business and private sector, and we can build the jobs immediately. This is a concept that is different than Barack Obama's concept. Our idea is actually embracing new technologies and innovations directly, creating low-cost solar panels to help this nation get out of the economic downturn that it is in. What we are seeing is lack of enterprise, lack of motivation. Young people don't even want to get an education because it's too costly. We have to see a much more leveling out of the economy, and that involves an equilibrium. But in the meantime, you're going to have to deal with the stress of the economic downturn, because believe me, it's going on. They can hide it, they can mask it, they can make it look like jobs are growing. The reality is this recession is sinking into a depression, and we're all part of it. So what I'm doing is I'm preparing, just like every average American, and believe me, it's very interesting how many people are preparing right now for an imminent economic disaster. And one of the things we're doing is stockpiling food in our pantry. As you can see, we've got plenty of food. Canned goods last a lot longer than one might expect. So what I recommend people doing is getting plenty of canned goods because they're easy to eat. You don't have to cook them. You can actually eat them cold if you have to. So heat is another factor. I'm making a tomato sauce tonight, made with pork that I bought for 99 cents a pound, and some dried tomatoes and things from the garden, carrots, onions, and making a nice pesto sauce. This kind of a meal could virtually feed a family of 5 with the pasta for under $3. And you could have leftovers too while you're at it. The idea of a refrigerator already stocked up, food's not going to last in a completely downed situation where the electricity's off. Food is not going to last very well. So you need a generator. Okay, this is a Craftsman 2500 generator, which is your basic generator. It'll run very efficiently. It can use about, I'd say, 2 gallons a day at the most, running full time, which is great. And then, of course, you have to stock up gas and make sure you have plenty prepared for the potential that your power may be out for a long period of time. So you have to do everything you can to keep that food fresh until you eat it all. And of course, you'll need the generator for charging batteries and a variety of other things. I'm going to show you how I save money. Okay, many years ago, I bought this hybrid. It's a 2000 Honda Insight, and it provides me tremendous gas savings. I get about 60 miles per gallon. And I want to tell you, if you're a real prepper, you're going to make sure you carry food supplies with you. So even in this instance, I've got all kinds of food supplies down inside my hybrid, and the potential to get caught anywhere. I mean, I know ramen isn't the best food, but it certainly can be cooked up with some hot water and provide sustenance in the event of a disaster. So anywhere you are, you want to carry a flashlight, first aid kit, some sleeping, even a down jacket to provide sleeping ability in a cold area. And all of this is part of what the American people are going to be doing to prepare for the future. Now, in the case of the pork that I bought, and I know a lot of Muslims don't eat pork, Jewish people don't eat pork, but it's a really affordable food. This is frozen, came out of the freezer. So what I'm going to do is show you my solar cooker, which will actually defrost it for you. You'll see how it defrosts. Take a look at this unit right here. It's a parabolic light refractor. And I'll set the pork right there, and in a matter of about an hour, it'll be defrosted and ready to cook. And you don't want to forget the fact that this biodome that I created for $100 is still standing over these many years, and it's got insulation, and it helps to create vegetables. Right here is a cold frame I created, which is right under a deck, and it produces plenty of greens during the winter, which is great. So as you can see, we are truly average Americans, and we are doing the impossible, creating a third party to challenge the two-party system and doing it against all odds. And by the way, do support me at Americans Elect. I am one of the only guys that can actually beat Barack Obama in the coming election. I don't believe Mitt Romney has it. I've got the flair, the panache, the charisma that will lead this nation out of the hole that we are in right now. So please, I need your support. This is really critical in the next 30 days. If you could click this link right here, that'll get me at least a chance to get on the ballot in 50 states in America.
ATP, you and me.